tomato sauce here in the soup shop?
Yeah, the tomato sauce is going to be done. Okay, the next recipe that I'm going to go ahead and do is called the orchetti. Okay, orchetti carciofi, which is a carciofi is nothing but the artichoke. Okay, that's what they call it. All right. So, what you need for artichokes, and it's really, really important, is something called acidulated water. You guys know what acidulated water is? Huh?
Water was called still water.
With citrus of some sort.
What's in acidulated? The word acidulated. Acid.
Aha! Aha!
This is what they call an artichoke. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and go kind of like the long way about it. There's different ways you've seen it done. There's a guy that he could do it in like literally under a minute. To a purist, they'll go crazy because he takes a serrated knife, he cuts around the edge, right, till he hits it. Then he goes and cuts it off. Quick, done. Literally under a minute, he does an artichoke. So before you get to that step, you have to first learn how to do it the right way. Does that make sense? That's all part of the process. There's one thing that I do want to discuss. What's two different ways, two different flavor profiles that you get from a lemon? Sour, tart, sour. All right. Can we also agree that you get an acidic, right? Acidic type of flavor, and you also get an aromatic. Okay. Aromatic comes from the skin, right? The peel, the zest, and the acid is going to come from the juice, right? I like to go ahead and, guys, get into this habit of, since we're going to go ahead and flavor, let's start flavoring with a little bit of lemon zest every now and then to kind of make it bright instead of using salt for everything. Okay, and then this is one way. This is what they call a microplane. I don't know if you've seen these before. Very, very good tool to have in your pantry. All right, your toolkit. And I like to do it just like this. Main reason is I'm getting just the actual lemon. Okay, there's no white. What does white do to the actual zest that you have? Bitter, stringent. Actually, you get more of an astringent flavor. Okay, so I've had, like, a long time ago, we used to have you know what a lemon juicer is? A citrus juicer. A squeeze, right? Versus a regular juicer that you put everything and it kind of blends it. Well, I was running this place and we used to have a spa, and the spa had its own juice bar, right? So my lovely pantry cook, who was lazy as hell, I said, I need orange juice. So he went and he had the juice already, because he had to do green apple juice and he had to do like a green apple juice mix. And he took the whole orange and he put it in the juicer. Give it to me, and it's like mad foamy. And I'm like, yo, did you put this in the citrus juicer or in the regular juices? No, in the citrus juicer. I said, drink it. I said, all right, go ahead, drink it. I'll make the next one. You got to drink that one. And he drank it. He's like, oh, it's disgusting. I was like, and you're going to serve that to my guests? You crazy? Because of the stringency that's in here. So, acidulated water, we're going to go ahead and put this in here. Okay? And then you're going to see me have this kind of lemon right here on the side. And I'll talk about it in a second. The reason why you want acidulated water in here is so that this doesn't oxidize. This oxidizes very easily, okay? This is also a very messy job, okay? A lot of waste, okay? And if you ever go buy one, when I first started cooking with this, I got tired of getting my butt kicked at work, so I started buying them, and I was all set. I said, I'd rather get yelled at work and learn the hard way. This stuff is extremely expensive, okay? Supply and demand is not that popular. Okay. And you got to be very careful, okay? Because if you go ahead and you're too violent, what happens is you'll rip pieces of the heart out. Okay, and I'm going through the whole thing, and I'm trying to be as gentle as possible. Okay. This is the long way, guys. Okay.
The part that you're filling off of that edible.
And some people, what they do is that they roast the whole thing and they get it to the point that they peel it off once it's cooked and they just bite into it and then they throw this out. There's a little bit of vegetable in there, but really the kind of like the chicken breast. With the chicken breast is like the most desired piece of the chicken, right? It's right here, and it's called the artichoke heart. Okay. Now, the other thing that you want to go ahead and do is go just like that, kind of go all the way around.
So is the heart a little purple piece or the white?
So cute.
It's the white piece right here. No, no, this piece right here. See, I'm getting to it right now. That's the heart. All right. So believe it or not, if you ever decide to do an ACF test, this is one of the things that they look at. You have to use artichoke. It's like they worship in the ACF. They worship the artichoke.
What kind of flavor profile does it have?
It's kind of have. I mean, it's one of those things that I'm gonna have to have you taste it. It's got a little bit of a sweetness, a little bitter at the same time. It's very much, you know, it's a vegetable. It's you know for sure it has a kind of a vegetable type of taste. There's a dish that the French do a lot. It's called Barrigold. Okay, and see that, all that hair. Okay, so now you see that I have this piece of lemon. At this moment, I'm gonna go ahead and rub this lemon all the way around. Okay, kind of to all the exposed areas, and I got most of the juice of it, but the residual juice that's in here is going to go ahead and rub into it. Okay, that helps that not become as astringent. Now, there's a little trick that I learned a long time ago. If you take a peeler, it's gentler on the artichoke stem. Okay, and you don't cut into the stem itself. You just take all that. What you're trying to do is get all this fibrous piece out. There's a lot of fibers on the outside, okay? So you're gonna go ahead and do that, okay? Pieces are too fibrous. You just go ahead and very carefully take them out. And what you're trying to do, guys, again, is get that green. Get that green out. Okay? And you got to be careful with these, because I'm trying to be as gentle as possible on the stem, because one false move, it breaks. It's a wrap. Now you've lost. You don't have some good yield. Right here, cut it right there. Take that piece off, and then when you get to this part, the proper way to do it is that you go ahead and take a melon baller, okay, and you start kind of scraping the inside, okay, till you get to the actual heart. Yeah, no hair. I'm gonna give this a Brazilian. Oh, but you gotta be very careful, okay? Because you can easily break this heart, okay? This heart is so expensive, and the amount of yield that you get out of it. Look how much just one. Look at my tub. All right, so you have to kind of respect what's left, okay?
The only way to do that is the way you do it.
This is the proper way. I can show you an easy way to do it, but what's gonna happen is if I show you the easy way to do it, you're gonna do it the easy way and then murder it.
And they're like, it doesn't look like the one Chef did.
Well, it took me a lot to get to that point. Like if I'm doing it in an exam, I'm not gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do it as fast as possible to get it done. You know what I mean? But you guys are starting out. This is the first time, your first encounter with this. You have to understand how many artichokes I had to turn in my lifetime to get to the point that now I can understand and develop systems. All right. All right. Again, once you give it that nice Brazilian, okay, go ahead and trim. Not a lot of yield. I mean, in this way, you can take the whole thing and cook it, but you still, the person has to go ahead and throw away stuff. It's like a lobster. You eat a lobster, right? Everybody loves lobster. You get a whole lobster. When you get down to it, you got about 5 ounces of meat and a 2-pound lobster. It's all shell. Okay? So now we have this bad boy just like this. Okay? What you're gonna do for the actual pasta dish is cut it down the middle. Okay? And then now this has to go immediately into the water. Do not let this sit once you cut it. You notice that once I exposed it, I kept rubbing lemon on it for the simple fact is I don't want it to oxidize. Once it oxidizes and it gets black, it doesn't get too pretty. Okay? You want it nice and white just like that. Alright? One more time. And a sacrilege way, either really sharp knife or a bread. A lot of times they'll use a serrated knife. Serrated knife is going to give you a much better thing because it's so coarse and so bulky. You need a little bit of serrated to kind of help you with it. Okay. You all right, Chef? You needed something? All right.
It's like a little shop of horrors.
Yeah. Feed me.
Does it have to be human? Does it have to be mine?
Yeah. They play that every day on public TV. No cable. All right. So now we here again, right? Now, different things different flavor profiles that you could do. One of my greatest hits that when I discovered this vegetable was artichoke and tomato go very well together. Okay, so anytime I had a vegetarian option, artichoke tomato pasta, done. Goodbye. Then after a while, they told me that the Italians called and they wanted that flavor profile back, so I had to find different ways to use it. We used to do a fish dish that we used to have these bad boys, little baby ones. They have smaller ones, and we would do this with a ham hock broth, seared fish, brisole potatoes, which is nothing but small banana, like fingerling potatoes, and then we would pour a ham hock broth, seared piece of sea bass, striped bass, right on top. Okay. Cut it here. I'm gonna go ahead now, hit it with the, and I'm leaving this one, I'm not putting any lemon juice on it, and you see how it's turning so fast? You see that? Okay, see that? So you have to hit it immediately with that lemon. Okay. And it's really important that you do this process and you take all this fiber out, guys, because what'll happen is it'll still be like eating dental floss, right? You're eating, all of a sudden now you ever take asparagus and not peel it, like the big jumbo asparagus, not peel it, or if you eat celery. Celery is a perfect example. I think that everybody's had before, right? In fine dining places, what they do before you use celery, and we use celery a lot, is that we would have to peel the celery before we even did anything to it. So that when we put it in salads or put it in a braised celery dish, we would go ahead and peel it so that that fiber wouldn't kind of impede, kind of have that nasty, fibrous, dental floss flavor in your mouth. It's good when you're eating wings, right? Because you're drunk, you don't know anything. You might eat your finger and think it's good. Okay. I remember, what are we gonna do to this? Give it a Brazilian, dog. I wish they had an application, a tool out there that you just put the. Ready? Ready? Do you trust me? Do you trust me? Dog! Do you trust me? These videos I'm gonna get fired.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's PG-13.
I don't have your face, don't worry.
I know. I'd be like, it wasn't me. You know what gave it away? What? Your gut. What do you use if you don't have a melon baller? You can use a spoon. Okay, spoon be the other thing. For the reason why I'm going with the melon baller is that if you by any chance take an ACF or certification exam and you use anything but a melon baller, they go right through for the right job and then they ding you points for that. My goal is when I take those things is that I'm not going to give the judge is my enemy. I do not want to give this judge any reason to talk. Okay. Now this is going to be the hardest part. After this is going to fly by. Okay. What I need you guys to do, and well, we're just talking about random things real quick. A couple of people have approached me already and they said, I gotta leave early on such and such day, or I have an appointment, things like that. This is how I handle it, guys. It's real simple. If you gotta leave early, you have to leave early. Life happens, I understand that. But for contact hours, so that I don't take your points away, because obviously if you leave early, I have to take points away, right? If you come early, let's say you're gonna leave 30 minutes early, then come in 30 minutes early. I'll have you set up something, or have you set up the room for the classroom. And then when you leave, now the people that clean, or you did something to contribute to the team. Does that make sense? Then I'll give you full points for the day. Just to be fair, because I'm not going to give you full points if you left early. And I understand that people have jobs and stuff like that, but it's just to be fair and be consistent, all right? So now, I got this bad boy here. What am I going to do with it? Cut it down the middle, slice it down, right? Let me just get this one little piece of annoying. You want to get as much of that green out, guys, as possible. there's a French dish. I started talking about it and my ADHD kicked in. Sorry. It's called barigot. Barigot's a vegetable stew that they'll go ahead and make this with white wine, carrots, celery, onion, garlic. Alright, so now I got this. Okay, to make it look prettier, just go ahead and round the edges. But because it's going to be sliced, it's really not that important. I did about a good cup and a half of wine, brought it down on sec, then I added the stock. Guys, when using your blade, what's the proper way to use your blade when you're using to cut? You're gonna cut it like that, right? Always